Beata Kubitz from Makepeace, and today it's our launch for our Spring-Summer collection, Angels and Insects.
My name's Nicola Sherlock and I'm the designer for Makepeace.
Makepeace started in 2004 when I'd been talking to local farmers about how they couldn't get enough money for their wool and how they were finding farming really depressing. So, and when I sort of said, well, you need to be adding value to the things you do, they said, well, you know, love, do it yourself if you think it's so easy. And so I bought 6 sheep and put them in my field at the back of my house and learnt how to make and spin wool. And fortunately, before I got too far with this endeavour, I met Nicola Sherlock, who's the designer for Makepeace.
I was trying to incorporate the slow food movement into clothing and wondering whether it was possible, you know, in today's fast-paced society with the fashion. And at the time it was quite a new and innovative idea, but now people are more interested in that sort of concept of getting something to last, but it doesn't have to be something plain or traditional, it can be something exciting.
And we sort of started to work together and to create knitwear. So I don't just have 6 sheep anymore, I have 70 sheep, which live on a 17-acre farm just high up in the Pennines. They're Shetland sheep, which is the finest breed of wool of the native breeds, and it's a coloured wool, so it's naturally brown. We create a natural undyed brown wool from those. And then when we buy wool, we buy white wool from other British farmers, Blueface Leicester, mohair, superfine mohair. It's lovely. We work with a dyer who's spent a lot of time getting processes approved and compliant with the European standards for dyeing, which eliminate a lot of irritants and poisonous chemicals.
I think by what you're wearing, it says a lot about who you are, and I think people are more in tune with that now. And it's shameful a bit to wear something that you know has been made by a child. So people are more, it's something people are more interested in, and they're more aware now as well of what's going on. And I think once you know, it's difficult to go back and want to wear those types of clothes.
A year ago, Nicola and I both read Angels and Insects, which is a book by A.S. Byatt, the Booker Prize-winning novelist, and we were absolutely influenced just by the shapes and the textures and the colours that are in this book. It's a marvellous little novella about sort of Victorian obsessions with classification and collection and learning about the natural order of the world. And it's very Darwinian, it's very set in the era of Darwin.
I love the way the Victorians are sort of collecting insects and studying them and looking at them in such intricacy, and I've always loved the way that the form of sort of natural creatures, and you'll notice that in this collection the backbone of the creatures is it's emulated in the clothing, and also it looks like butterflies as well in the wingspan and the volume of the garments and the floatiness and the lightness of it.
This year is the 200th anniversary of Darwin's birth, and we thought it was a marvellous time to be able to connect the collection, which is about living on the planet sustainably, and all the beautiful angels and insects in the collection, obviously the kind of inspiration with Charles Darwin, who enabled us to understand the environment to a much greater degree. I think that clothes say a lot about you, and if you're standing there in something that's dripping in pesticides and has been 3 times around the world and has been manufactured in shoddy conditions before you got to wear it, you're actually making an enormous statement about yourself that's not very nice. Whereas if you're wearing something that you know and have confidence has been manufactured in a sustainable way, that says an amazing amount of stuff about you, as well as looking beautiful and glamorous.
And people appreciate that because they can see what's going into it and know that it's sort of worth the money and the time's gone into it, and it's something special.
So what we try and do is make something that's so desirable that you'll want to wear it over and over again, and maybe accessorise it differently, rather than something that you're going to change every few months. We want things that you'll love forever.
Yeah.